Starting the 7 o'clock hour with this live look from Lookout Mountain. Today, by the way, going to be one of the warmest days of the week before we get into more winter-like conditions.
Yeah, and this incoming storm could pack a punch. While we could see some wet weather coming through tomorrow, and it won't feel cold until Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Brianna Fernandez in for Corey Rose this morning.
And I'm Drew Carney. Katie right there next to us. We will have more traffic from Keely Chalmers in a second. But Katie, let's talk about this forecast. Wild ride because, man, Saturday and Sunday were darn near perfect. Not like that later today and tomorrow.
Yeah, so 70s over the weekend and today, but we're bracing for a very powerful storm system, and it's going to really switch things up in terms of rain, snow, winter weather, and it'll be early Wednesday morning. We'll see the biggest impacts here in Denver, but the mountains will already tonight start to see more of that much needed precipitation. And from 50 degrees this morning, calm, mostly cloudy, 70s expected later on today. So it is that calm before the cold, as you just saw, but we have issued a weather impact alert tomorrow. Through the day, rain shifts over to snow, the heaviest snow expected in the high country. That will be through the day, and then into early Wednesday morning, we'll be feeling the impacts here over the metro area. Two systems colliding over Colorado. Now, if everything pans out and the temperatures fall as they are expected to do in through early Wednesday morning, a winter storm watch in place. Heaviest accumulations expected to see that in our northern Front Range mountains. Today, a few scattered showers, isolated storms. This next bout of winter weather will come in, and we are looking at that heavy wet snow through early Wednesday. I'll take you through the timing and some of the totals we're expecting to see, but we issue these impact alerts, Keely, just to let you know a storm's a coming, and it'll be with us around this time tomorrow.
Yeah, certainly we will be tracking some tricky driving conditions tomorrow afternoon and certainly Wednesday morning. We are starting to see that volume on the roadways pick up this morning. Here is a live look. This is Pena Boulevard, the off-ramp. Not seeing any issues from our live shot, but I want to take you over to our traffic maps where we do have this issue, and this just came in. This is an off-ramp that is blocked. This is southbound Pena Boulevard, the off-ramp to East 40th Avenue. So we are expecting and seeing right now slow traffic all the way back to Tower Road as a result of that. So a few drive times, a little bit of a slowdown. This is westbound 270, I-70 to I-25. That commute now about 10 minutes. We're looking at about 11-minute commute westbound I-70, I-225 to I-25. So a bit of a slowdown there. Improvement though, green light now southbound I-225, I-70 to I-25. That commute now about 12 minutes.
Keely, thank you so much. May is National Bike Safety Month, and CSP has some tips on how to keep the roads a little safer. If you're a cyclist, always wear a helmet, ride with traffic, and follow the rules on the road. If you're driving, give bikers enough space on the road and use extra caution when going around them. Most importantly for drivers and riders, stay alert.
Police, meanwhile, investigating a wave of threats targeting zoos across the country, including the Denver Zoo. Officials say callers reported active shooters or bombs forcing evacuations and other emergency responses. The Denver Zoo paused operations yesterday after getting one of those calls, but Denver police searched the area, quickly determined there was no actual threat. So the zoo reopened later on Sunday and said events, including Glowing Wild, would continue as planned. The zoo also says it plans to run normal hours today. Now, similar threats hit zoos in Ohio, Kentucky, and Arizona, where thousands of visitors and staff were evacuated. So far, though, investigators have not found any weapons or explosives. Officials believe these may simply be fake calls, but the calls themselves are still illegal and remain under investigation. For mothers and families, the decision to safely surrender a newborn, one of the hardest they have to make. But now they will have more time under a law that was just passed here in Colorado. Before, they only had 72 hours to make that decision.
9 News reporter Courtney, and she joins us live in Denver now. And Courtney, this is not just more time, it's also more resources.
Yes, that's right, Brianna and Drew. This bipartisan legislation expands the state's safe haven law to allow newborn surrenders up to 1 month after childbirth. So the bill had sponsors from both sides of the aisle and passed without any no votes on its final reading. So without fear of criminal prosecution, a parent can legally surrender a newborn by handing the child directly to a staff member at a staffed fire station, hospital, or standalone emergency clinic. Advocates for the change say the old 72-hour window often closed before mothers even left the hospital after childbirth. Before the law changed, Colorado was one of only 6 states still operating under a 72-hour surrender window. 22 states already allowed 30 days. Sarah Wagner, Executive Director of Colorado Safe Haven for Newborn, says Her organization pushed for the change because the previous time frame left parents with little room to think.
What I'm hoping to see is just giving those families more time to explore those different resources, explore the avenues, find out if they have a support system in place, and see if this is the right decision for them. Because again, Safe Haven is a last resort safety net. So finding out, is this the solution that they want to go with, or is there a different option available for them?
So these cases are rare. Colorado only has 10 or fewer safe haven surrenders each year. If families decide to surrender their children, they must hand them over to a staff member at a fire station or a hospital. And the changes to this new law will take effect in August. Live in Denver, Courtney Yoon, 9 News.
All right, thank you, Courtney. Aurora City Council will vote on a resolution later today that shows support for families who have lost loved ones in police shootings. Councilmember Rob Andrews proposed the resolution after protesters showed up at recent meetings because of police shootings. Family members of Kylan Lewis have been calling for charges after his death and for the Aurora officer involved to be fired. But some council members have pushed back on this resolution, saying that it felt unbalanced. So the language was updated to recognize the impact on officers involved in these incidents. This afternoon's Aurora City Council meeting is set to start at 4 o'clock.
Also today, Denver City Council is expected to take up several changes to rezoning. Council will discuss a proposed amendment to the city's zoning code that would extend deadlines for the site development plans approved on or before the end of the year. If approved, the amendment would spare more than 22,000 planned residential units from shutting down because of expiring city paperwork. The city is seeking to deliver 2,500 housing units and permit an additional 5,000 in 2026.